Hey Rockhounds, welcome to another video in which I will teach you where to go and what to look for out near the Rio Puerco, west of Los Lunas, for petrified wood, fossils, agate, and chert. This video is about rockhounding for petrified wood and Jasper along Highway 6 west of the town of Los Lunas, New Mexico. So to get to the area where you can collect, you're gonna go about 10 miles from where the exit from I-25 into Los Lunas. Pick up Highway 6 and you're gonna go 10 miles out this road. You'll have the Cat Hills Volcanic Field to the north. From the 10-mile point, right about here, all the way to where the road crosses the Rio Puerco River, right here, a lot of the gravel beds and road cuts that are along the road have petrified wood and jasper and sometimes agates. The land on both sides of Highway 6 is private property, and so you need to limit and restrict your collecting to the areas just around the road cuts and the gravel on the sides of the roads. Particularly good areas to check are where there's a little bridge over an arroyo. A lot of times right around that area on the road you will find petrified wood and the jaspers and fossils. And also where the road crosses the river, right along the road right there is a good place to find the jaspers and the petrified wood and things like that. I'm out here near the Rio Puerco, and there's these gravel beds close to the river, and you can come out here and get little river-worn pebbles of jasper and chunks of chert. Sometimes if you're lucky you'll find a fossil, and there's also petrified wood out here. So I just wanted to talk about the different things that you can find and how to identify them. So this is a piece of quartzite, and you can see it has kind of a sparkly, kind of glassy looking surface. When you touch it, it's much rougher than, say, a piece of chert, which is more waxy. And here's a piece of chert for comparison. So the chert is a little translucent, while the quartzite is dense and hard and has this different type of texture and luster. So chert, quartzite. Jasper pebbles are everywhere in different colors and sizes. So here's like a little orange piece of jasper. Here's another little piece. A piece with white and orange. So these are nice to put in a tumbler. They tumble very nicely. Easy for kids. Pickings are good. So this will have a more smooth texture than the quartzite, and they're opaque versus the translucence of the chert. Quartzite comes in different colors. Here's a orange piece. Here's a gray piece right next door. I don't collect quartzite, but some people like it. If you can find it in big enough pieces, it can be used like a ornamental rock in your garden. Here's a little piece of chert. The chert, when chert is black or gray, they call it flint. Microcrystalline quartz. And there's a train going by. The petrified wood out here blends in really well. There's not very much of it. If you're lucky, it will have this nice bark texture. So you're looking for pieces of wood, fragments, and rounded pebbles of jasper, which could be petrified wood that's broke down and weathered and no river tumbled. Just no real way to know. That was another little Jasper bit. Just found this fossilized clamshell here. It's gray, just like the limestone around here. Here's a piece of what the limestone looks like in this gravel. Bigger piece. So if you're lucky, you'll find fossils. They're pretty scarce though, although the bits of jasper and wood and chert are much more abundant. We stepped off the side of the road here, heading back towards Los Lunas from where the road and the Rio Puerco come together, where we were looking in the gravel beds. And right here, just pulled off to the side of the road, there's this gravel bed and there's lots of petrified wood in it. Here's a piece just found. So right on the side of the road, there's lots of jasper, petrified wood, chert. Nice little prolific spot. So the chert around here has this kind of white weathering rind on it, and it really stands out, making it very easy to spot. Chert is a type of microcrystalline quartz, and it takes a nice polish when you cut it. Kind of like agate, not quite. There's another little piece of chert. The whole thing is covered in that weathering rind. So that's another thing to look for when you're looking for the petrified wood and the jasper out here. Chert really stands out. Here's a sampling of items. Got lots of chert, jasper, petrified wood, big chunks of chert. Here's some of the petrified wood found yesterday near the Rio Puerco. Some of it is even extremely colorful, like this little piece here. Mostly it's kind of a brown with yellowish. And all of these pieces are easily identified as petrified wood because you can see the bark texture on them. These are not very abundant out in the Rio Puerco gravels, but they are fun to find. These are shells, fossilized shells, clam shells, I think. Maybe this is a brachiopod. They are very well weathered from transportation in the river. Some of them are small. So keep an eye out for these when you're out there too. There's a lot of jasper in the Rio Puerco area. It is possible that much of this material came from chunks and pieces of petrified wood that got worn during transport in the river. It's just not possible to tell. The structure of the bark and the growth rings are gone, so what you're left with is just these colorful pieces of jasper. These cut nicely. They tumble nicely in a tumbler, and it's very hard, dense quartz material. The difference between jasper and chert is that jasper is typically opaque, while chert is translucent. And the chert also breaks in a different pattern than the jasper. Jasper does have a conchoidal fracture, but it doesn't make the sharp edges that you get with chert, typically. So as you can see, a lot of the jasper is red and black and swirly. This yellow color was quite abundant out there, and some pieces that are just multicolored. Very nice. Would probably cut and polish quite nicely. This is Rio Puerco chert found yesterday. It's a microcrystalline variety of quartz, and it is usually kind of white or black, and has kind of a waxy luster and a conchoidal sharp fracture. So you can see that all these pieces have kind of that sharp edges that comes from the way the quartz breaks when it is being transported in a river. It's a great indicator that you found a piece of chert, slightly translucent, and has these sharp edges. So there's a lot of chert out near the Rio Puerco in the gravel beds. This is the only agate that I found out near the Rio Puerco. And I'm not sure that you can see the banding on it, but it actually is a properly banded agate with quartz in the center. So that's a fun find, and I might cut that. Cut and polish one side or slice it just to see, just to make the fortification band stand out more. So that's what you can expect to find when you're out in the Rio Puerco area. Jasper, petrified wood, agates, and lots of chert. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. And if you do go out to the Rio Puerco area looking for jasper and chert and petrified wood, please leave me a comment below. Thanks.